actually carried out geophysical survey in so many states in the country.
Politically, in 1987, that was when we do what you now call the zero-party election.
The things you use to earn money are there. It's just for you to know how to think of developing them.
Representing the people is you being a trustee of dividend of democracy to the people. The people are the beneficiaries.
The state now, the environment is quite friendly. The foundation has been laid for even foreign investors, other investors within the Nigerian economy to come in.
We always come to the spot to extract from some social, economic and political leaders their achievements, their works, and of course their involvement to the prosperity of Delta State and Nigeria at large. I welcome you to the biggest personality television program, Delta Scope. My name is Ighoyota. On this edition of Delta Scope, our media crew met with a very interesting personality, a man of dignity, a man in his own capacities has occupied various leadership positions in Delta State. He has had wild experience both in the public and private sector. He was one time chairman for the People's Democratic Party, PDP. We're talking about Senator Chief Ighoyota Amori. Let's meet him and hear what he has for us today. Honorable Chief
Ighoyota Amori. Where incidentally Ologu and Chief, they mean one and the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Ologu is the Yoruba meaning of chief. I'm 69 plus now. Very soon I will be 70. Of course, I was born in the village. I grew up in the village. By implication, I'm streetwise. I attended primary school in the village. Of course, before I went to the town, the Sapler, where I entered the secondary school, the present Ighoyota Grammar School. Then it was Academic Grammar School Sapler. I left Ighoyota in 1971 and went to the University of Benin University, where I had my first degree in geology, and later to University of to the then Cross River State for my NYSC, and later to University of Ibadan, where I did my master's degree in geophysics. I worked in various companies until I established my own company in 1986, Amori Nigeria Limited. By 1987, I contested and won election as a councillor in the then Bendel State. And since then, since 1987 till now, I have been in politics and still in politics and will continue to be in politics.
Talking about these achievements you've recorded, and you've also known you've had a wide experience both in the public and in private sector. How have you been able to transfer this experience both in the public and private sectors? With all these achievements you've talked about, you were once chairman for a different company. You were also a PDP chairman, People's Democratic Party. How have you been able to transfer this experience in both the private and public sector?
Well, first, I have I tried as much as possible to fulfill my destiny, serving my people, doing the best I can for my people, taking advantage of my position in life, whatever God has given to me in life, to better the life of my people and our people. I come from a small kingdom, a small community called Mosoga in the present Echef West local government area. By 1987, when I became a councillor, our people knew nothing about government. They have never been in government. They have never had any government appointment. Neither did the government ever remember us. But somehow, they stood by me to contest election in 1986, and I won as a councillor. like I said, in the then Bender state, President Delta and Edo was still one state under one military administrator then. And I took advantage of my being a councillor, which was a very big thing. Yeah, because to be a councillor in those days is almost like being a commissioner now, if not better than even a commissioner now, because it was we cover a very large area, or present House of Assembly, House of Assembly, and I took advantage of that to do a lot for my people, a lot. In terms of any development you can think of in our kingdom today, in Musga Kingdom today, was through my effort from being a councillor, being a commissioner, two-time commissioner, political advisor, held various positions in life, and for each position I occupy, I've always brought it to bear in the betterment of our people, and of course, not just only people of Musga, people of my area, Delta Central, and of course, Delta State. As a Commissioner for Education, my records are there for everybody to see. As Commissioner for Water Resources, the records are there. And since then, I have been holding one position or the other. Today, I believe that the experience I gather right from being a councillor till today, I've always used it for the betterment of our people. And that is why, for each time I stand for election, my people have always supported me. The recent one is my going through this rigorous senatorial primaries. And of course, I won again, preparing for probably a higher office at the national level come 2023.
So, sir, talking about political positions and achievement also, we all know you were one time selected senator and for some reason set aside. What was the political and judicial reason for all of that?
In 2015, I was elected a senator and I was sworn in. I was there for 7 months. There was judicial rascality and my victory was overturned for so many reasons that probably one cannot explain. It is not that I did not win the election, but in politics, there are so many unseen hands in the affairs of politics. So many things happened. My opponent took advantage of probably his father's position. The father was the chief judge of the state. He had a lot of connections everywhere. I don't have that advantage, and bodies were pressed here and there. Of course, at the tribunal, voting, I won. But when it got to the Court of Appeal, where probably people had longer legs and hands, certain buttons were pressed, and then just like the Imo State case, where a man who won no local government, who came forth in an election, became the governor of Imo State. The man, in my case, he won in only 2 local government. I won clear 6. And of course, yes, became the candidates somehow. Well, probably that is what God has predestined for me. And I didn't feel bad. It's just normal. Because we've seen so many examples. Governors have been elected, governors have been sworn in, and their victory upturned. So it happens every day. And probably it was not my time to probably complete my 4 years as a senator. So I didn't feel bad because I've seen, like I said, I've seen so many examples. When the appointed time comes, like now, my victory shall be permanent.
So now the recent political era is coming to an end. You know, from what you see around, do you think that's the beginning of a new dawn? Or as the same old, it's going to be the same old structure?
Well, it's the end of an era and the beginning of another era. I believe that this state has always been a PDP state. And if you go back to 1999 when we came into office, when the PDP government came into office in Delta State. There have been a lot of transformation by the various governors. First, the foundation was laid by Chief James Ifebori between 1999 and 2007. Then came Dr. Amori between 2007 and 2014. Then Kowa came in again 2015, and his regime is going to end 2023. And for each of them, the state has always witnessed tremendous development. I don't know your age then, but if you were in the state by 1999 and what you are seeing in the state today, there has been a massive transformation. So for each regime, when it ends and now one begins, it's a new dawn. It's always a new dawn. Okowa has done his best, Bori has done his best, Odo has done his best. The one that is coming, which definitely is going to be the PDP government again, of course, will transform the state better than he met it. So it's a new dawn for the new governor.
We have a political landscape which is bound to change from 2023, from the executive to the legislator. As a politician, let's look at Nigeria. What is your vision for the new Nigeria dispensation, the new era?
That there's going to be a new Nigeria. What I believe is going to happen is each government, each administration will improve on the administration that is probably that is just living. New Nigeria, the Nigeria of my dream. I don't believe that it can be attained in our lifetime. What I mean is this: there's a Nigeria of my dream, and that dream has always been there. But each struggle by any administration is far from meeting the expectation. Let's take, for example, the security situation in the country today is worse than it was before. The power supply in the country today is far, far worse than when it was NEPA or ECN. So the Nigeria of my dream, where it is work, is far from being attained. But people will continue to do their best. The new government will continue to do her best to improve on the Nigeria of our expectation. But what we are seeing today, if we continue like this, definitely not in our lifetime, probably not even our children's lifetime.
As a key politician, a key political player and the People's Democratic Party, do you see a winning chance both at the national level and the state level?
Oh, the chances are very, very bright. Very, very bright. For the state, that was a fait accompli already. Because like I said, since 1999, the PDP has been in power, and the PDP government has always performed excellently well in terms of infrastructure development, human capital development, name it, we have done, yes. Because that's why I always mention, do you know what the state was before and what it is today? We inherited one university, not even a fully established university. How many universities do we have today? Look at our educational infrastructure everywhere. Look at the number of polytechnics we have, the colleges of education, the roads, the airport. Look at ASABA before. Where we are now was a thick forest. And today, look at the transformation in ASABA. ASABA almost was like a linear city before. Today, the place is heavily urbanized. You can't know the difference between Okpanam and ASABA again. And of course, going to Ogwashiko and this look and the rest, the whole place has been urbanized. That is transformation. And you can owe that to the PDP government. You go to other parts of the state, look at the number of stadiums in the state today, look at the roads, name it, they are there. So we can say yes, the PDP government has been done everything to develop the state. People are happier than it was before.
Now, taking you back to victory, you were talking about victory and success. First of all, I want to congratulate you on your recent win
Thank God.
at the recent PDP's primaries election. And now, we're glad that you are back. And hopefully, you'll be back to the Senate. What do we expect from Honorable Chief Ighoyota Amori?
Well, I also congratulate myself and seize the opportunity to thank all those who supported me to win the primary. Winning the primary is like winning the general election because it's rigorous. Now, I'm not longer a stranger in the Senate. If I go to the Senate today, I'm a ranking senator because I've been there before. And my duty is to make laws, good laws for good governance of this country. In our time in the Senate, no. It's not what the president said. It's what we believe our people have mandated us to do that we do that. Look at what happened recently. The Electoral Act that they passed, the president acceded to it. They came back just few days to the primaries. They remember that, there's a definition of statutory delegates and adult delegates. They forgot to include statutory delegates in the Electoral Act. That today remove all statutory delegates from being delegates to any of the elections. The party executive are no longer to elect any candidate. All the statutory delegates in whatever form they've been removed. Only 3 elected adult delegates. That is a mistake of the APC-led administration. Before they realized it was too late. Now they rush to pass it. Of course, the president, like you know, he does not care. The country can go to blazes. He just refused to assent to it. So at the last minute, that is, so none of them in the ruling party saw the deficiency in the electoral law they passed at that time. The president who assented to it did not see it. Now, today, the president cannot vote. The governors cannot vote. The party executive cannot vote. All the statutory delegates cannot vote unless 3 elected adult delegates. This is the only country where people who are presiding are not allowed to vote for somebody who becomes a candidate. Because they went through, the president of the Senate is an APC senator. The Speaker of the House of Rep is APC. The man who was the chairman of the electoral panel or committee is APC. The man who assented to the law is APC. Along this line, none of them could detect it. It was, just a few days to the primaries. To remember that, that they have, in a way, disenfranchised themselves from voting, and they rushed to amend it.
What do we expect when you eventually become, from Honorable Chief?
Well, first,
specifically.
Now I was emphasizing that,
yes,
that the duty of a senator is to make law for the good governance of the country. That is one law that was not properly made. It will take one person to say, there's a mistake in the law that we have made. That person would have saved this country, would have been the Winston Churchill of England. And it could be me. It could be me. Who will point it out and no, there's deficiency in this law that we have made. And that affects so many other laws. So many. This is just one. This is just one. So it will take somebody who is diligent enough to point out this law we are making, there's a lacuna in this law we are making. We need to include this, we need to include that. None of them could. Of course, because the APC, in majority in the House, of course they really don't care about the opinion of the PDP. They don't care about the opinion of the PDP. So that is why when I get to the Senate, I'm going to be the one who will fill that gap.
Honorable Chief Ighoyota Amori, history has it that you are a promoter of good values. Let's hear you as a father and a husband. Let's hear about you.
Well, first, I have no way of mirroring myself, but the eye does not see itself unless by reflection. That is the people's opinion about me, and I believe I've actually lived up to expectation. I come from a very humble background, and I have tried to bring my family along that line. I'm doing the best for my family. I'm also doing the best for my community. I'm doing the best for my state. And I believe that over the years, my contribution to the development of my community, the state, and of course the nation, one or the other, has probably earned me that perception of me. And I think I am living up to expectation. If I begin to count why I think I deserve what you said of me, I'm sure we will not leave it to do. Remember, let me start from my kingdom. We came in as a community. Today, we are a kingdom. The only kingdom to have been created in Delta State by law. Mosoga was a clan, today is a kingdom. We've had a king, and that is because of my position in life. Mosoga had no single appointee in government before. We have had, because of me, we have had about 6 commissioners. Mosoga has never been the chairman of a council. Today, okay, we've also, in my time, we have chairman of council. Mosoga had never even been a councillor before, but started from me as a councillor, and now we have 4 councillors. I think until we have 4 councillors. Mosoga have never seen a third road. Today, almost everywhere Mosoga is third. We have never seen light before, we have light. We have police stations. We have a college of education where degrees are awarded now. We have hospitals, name it. Whatever that's available in any city is available in Mosoga, courtesy of Chief Senator Ighoyota Amori. This is bringing my kingdom or my community from obscurity to limelight. Today, we are in the world map.
Thank you so much, Olorogo Senator Ighoyota Amori. We really appreciate your presence and, of course, for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Such a daring personality, so much achievement there. We must congratulate Senator Amori on his recent victory on the PDP senatorial primaries, and we wish him luck. To be part of our personality program is important you follow, subscribe to our different social media handles right on your screen. On behalf of the producer and the entire production crew, I said thank you for riding with us on this particular edition of Delta Scope. My name is Isioma Adigwe. Bye for now.